The moment I hear that theme music, I'm in. Mission Impossible, or Mission Impossible 1, was directed by Brian De Palma, released in May of 1996. It runs for 1 hour and 50 minutes. It stars Tom Cruise, Jon Voight, Emmanuel Behr, Jean Reno, Ving Rhames, Vanessa Redgrave, and Henry Czerny. As for the money, it had a budget of $80 million. Its domestic take was $180 million, so it smashed that. No dramas. The foreign take was $276 million, giving it a worldwide total of $457 million, leading to a profit of $377 million and then some. So let's look at the characters. Of course, you have Tom Cruise as Ethan Hunt. Charming, witty, clever, and action-oriented. Ethan is well acted by Tom Cruise, no surprise there. Enjoyed seeing him on screen. I must have had a very strong coffee before I filmed this. This is like editing a ferret. I am neurotic. I am very hard to track. I'm jumping all over the place. Past me is giving present me a headache. Jon Voight, a lot of fun once again. He was well presented at the start of the movie. Believable. You bought in that this was Jim Phelps. That wasn't hard. Watching his villainous turn, that was not hard to buy into. There didn't seem to be a lot of shift in his personality though. It was almost just Jon Voight with villain dialogue as opposed to Jon Voight becoming a villain. It wasn't unpleasant to watch. It was easy to watch. There was no real personification of a villainous turn. That's all. If you know what I mean. Luther. Quite enjoyed his character. I just didn't get to see enough of him do anything. He felt underdeveloped. I mean, he was there for a lot of it. It wasn't like he had a shortage of screen time or things to do. I just don't know if we saw much to him. Does that make sense? I wanted more from him. That's what I'm trying to say. I wanted more. I wanted more of his character, and I wanted more to his character. Yeah. Krager, I liked him. Krager's just the mean guy, this nasty dude with a knife. You can get anything you want. He felt slimy from the start. He's your crook. You got the feeling pretty early on that he'd sell out to anyone. He'd work for anyone. He just happened to be available. And then it tied in later. He was the slimy crook. I like that. But then again, Reno does a good job in pretty much anything he does. I really enjoy watching Reno. The subtle acting he can do just with a look, or the way you watch him, his character processing data. He emotes very strongly just with his eyes. Kittredge. I enjoyed his frustrated bureaucrat. Kittredge has a mole in the company and he's trying to hunt this mole out. He's doing whatever he can to chase them. He thinks he's got them. And it's Ethan Hunt and he's just having a hard time keeping up with him. I enjoyed that even though he was chasing Ethan, he respected Ethan's skill set. He knew that this is not going to be a walkover. Literally just playing catch up the whole movie. That was fun to see. I like it when the chase is having to work hard to keep up with the hero. Max was fun. Max was a D&D rogue. You don't want him to win, but you enjoy seeing him on the screen. I could have seen a bit more of Max in the movie. That polite villain. Max was fun. Claire was good. Yeah, no bones to pick with her performance at all. You believe that she was one of the good guys, then you believe she was one of the bad guys at the end. Again, no real tone of character, much like Jon Voight. She just seemed to be the same person with different dialogue. But still, gave a good performance, well acted. Yeah, well done. Then you've got Hannah, Sarah, and Jack. Good fun. They added depth and complexity to the scenes. They didn't detract from anything. I enjoyed having them as part of the team. Also, Emilio Estevez, uncredited. Wonder why. So, characters, in short, no weak points, all well done, everyone added to the story, everyone improved upon the movie experience. Characters were good. Give it a solid 3. Now for the story. And it was a classic Mission Impossible story. This felt easily like the movie version of the show. I own all of the seasons of the Mission Impossible TV series. Love that stuff. It was a clever little story of MacGuffin chase, but it was suitably complicated and convoluted. We got all the twists and the turns and the face swapping and the misdirection. It kept you guessing. It kept you wondering how they were going to do it. I mean, you knew they were going to do it. You knew that the mission was going to be successful. But the fact that they killed so many people off in the opening sequences, you were wondering how they were going to pull it off. And if anyone else in the mission was going to get taken out on the way. You suspected they weren't, but you had that doubt because they had already ditched 3 early on. And that made it quite a bit of fun. I suppose it's an old story, though. It's the mole hunt. The good man, suspected of being the bad guy, fighting to clear his name against all odds and impossible situations with a small team of loyal and skilled operatives with him. I mean, really, there's very, very few things that are original now. It's just retellings of stuff that's already been done. We don't mind the same story. I read comic books, a lot of them. Haven't seen a new storyline since I started reading comic books. There are very few new things out there. It's just how they're presented. And this old story is presented very, very nicely. Not much more to say on the story, really. It is quite a simple one, but it's also a very good one. So I'm giving it a 3.5. Look and feel. Let's start with the music. So nice. That theme music kicks in and off we go. I love it. All the different sorts of music that they use in the TV show will drop in and drop out and be mixed into the rest of the score. And I find that very effective, really enjoyable. Another throwback to the original series is the opening interrogation, where Claire is pretending to be dead as she's been drugged out, laying on the bed, and then we're stressing out about how long it's taking. Right back to the TV series. Very believable locations. Every shot looked good. Wherever they went, it looked really, really nice. It didn't often feel like a movie set. It did every now and then. No kidding. But the way they shot, the camera angles they used was very clever. The director clearly loves his overhead shots and stairwells. Any chance he got to use a shot of a lovely stairwell or a complicated looking design, he'd take it. And all the different dramatic angles used in the movie to accentuate the different scenes, very, very effective. Character point of view sequences where you're looking through the character's eyes, that always throws me out in a movie, but they didn't overdo it in this one, and it was quite well done. The old school high-tech feel. Since it was filmed in 96, they've got some technology in here that feels very 95, 96, that sort of thing. My wife noticed it. She goes, gee, the technology's old? And I'm thinking, well, yes, but it's also pushing the boundaries of the time as well. So that was fun, including and especially the iconic break-in at Langley. That was really well done, well shot. Everything looks so good. Incredible use of silence in that shot when he drops down, and it's dead quiet because it got the decibel meter and it's making you tense. So the lack of sound was incredibly effective in that. I mean, the whole thing looked like a movie set. That's because the whole thing was a movie set, but you didn't care. You didn't care at all. You're right there in the scene. It's a little Star Wars-y. It's obviously a set, but you don't care. So, yeah, so the look and feel is a 4. Easily a 4. It sold itself as a spy movie, as a Mission Impossible movie. You bought into everywhere they were and what they were doing. It felt good. Nothing took you out of the movie. Script and dialogue, well written, fun to listen to, fun to watch. For example, in the opening sequences, when you meet the team, you enjoy being with the team. You enjoy their banter, their back and forth, their chat. Draws you in. You like these people. Then they go and kill them on you, which makes that even more effective. I was a bit dirty about that. I remember seeing this at the cinemas when it first came out. I'm like, oh, come on. I really like those guys. I wanted to know more about those guys. I wanted to see more of that team in action. Didn't get it, though. But generally, the writing was quick. It was witty and playful when it needed to be, drawn out and slow and suspenseful. Suspenseful when needed, and lots of subtle acting, eyes and facial features, conveying how they're feeling and what they're thinking when they can't actually say it due to circumstances or whatever's happening in the movie. The little scene with the magic trick with the disc where Hunt is convincing Krager he's got the wrong disc, that was fun to watch. Now I immediately think, camera tricks, but it's Tom Cruise. There's a good chance he knows magic tricks as well. I assume when I see Tom Cruise doing a thing, there's a high chance he can actually do it. The scene in the cafe or the restaurant where Kittredge is confronting Ethan about whether he's the mole or not, that was really good. But as it goes on, you're getting more and more aggressive camera angles during that sequence, and that just built up the tension even more. The dialogue was very strong, but supported by the excellent camera work. It really drove that home. And they did another version of it where you have Phelps and Hunt sitting in the train station. Phelps thinks that he's tricked Ethan, but then you get to see Ethan figuring it all out in his mind. Good dialogue, great camera work, super effective. I don't really know where to put the train sequence, if it should be in look and feel or script and dialogue or even just fun factor. I'm going to put it in script just because I've thought of it now, really. But it was fun. It was silly, but not so goofy that you didn't feel like they'd earned it at the end of this. It's ridiculous, but you had fun watching it, so that's okay. Good script, good dialogue, well delivered. I'm giving that a 3. Brings us to fun factor. It was an enjoyable ride from start to finish. We just enjoyed seeing where the story took you. It's like reading an old fantasy novel. You know that everyone's going to make it out the other side. It's just a matter of how they get it done. That's where the fun is. Again, with the train sequence at the end, we're watching this and my wife turns to me and says, "Is it just me, or is the CGI kind of average?" Yeah, it was. However, it's 1996. So what you're seeing was pretty good. I mean, it was good. However, in my wife's defense, her benchmark for CGI is Lord of the Rings and the newer Star Wars movie. It's not really fair to compare. It really isn't. But we had a good time anyway. We really enjoyed watching this movie. And as soon as Mission Impossible 1 was done, she wanted to go, "Are we watching the next one tomorrow night?" It's like, yes, we are. So that brings the fun factor. I'm going to score that on a 3.5. Alrighty, so Mission Impossible. Final score of a 17. 3.5, 3.5, 3, 4, 3. Yeah, that's 17. Total score of 17. We really enjoyed this one and keen to see more. So there you go. Thanks for watching, and feel free to comment down below and subscribe if you like. Hopefully see you next time, and everybody have a great week.